All right. While this is like fresh on my heart, I guess. I don't know. I guess I'll give like a little testimony because I don't know if I'm gonna post it. I always say that, but it depends how much I say. I don't want to reveal too much that it could bite me in the butt later. But I just want to like share my testimony, and where that brought me to tonight. I guess. As far as religion. So I back in the day, like when I was in middle school, I had a hard time believing because I was so logical. Like I'm such a logical person that it was hard for me to like really believe in God and really accept that He existed. Um, because I kind of was just like so against it. However, I had went to an all girls religious retreat, I would say. And just so happened that all the girls at my church at the time like backed out. So I was the only girl that went with like three adults. Three or four adults, I think. And so I never believed in God. I don't know why. I just never believed in him. So I was just like, that's so stupid. How are you? I was one of those like atheists, if you will, that was just like, why are you believing in God? Like, are you stupid? Like, he's non-existent. All these stories are fake. Like, I was so like anyone that tried to, um, I guess make me believe, I would just be like, get on my face. Like, no. And I would just argue with them and just bash them for believing with it. Just like they were kind of coming at me in that type of way of, you better believe, I would come at them like, you better not believe type thing. And then so at this retreat, there was an experience of washing of feet. I guess that's when Mary Magdalene, I want to say, washed Jesus' feet. So the elders or whatever that brought me to the retreat, like washing feet for me. It was such a like experience. That was the first time I guess in life. It was probably eighth grade that I actually felt God. I felt His presence, but I still at the time like I was crying. I was like, oh my God, like, oh Jesus, I'm so sorry. I just felt so bad. Like, I feel you here, but I just don't know what to do because I'm such a logical person, and I just could not understand how something that possible could happen. And so that was my first experience. So with that, I didn't really dwell on it. I guess I really didn't educate myself. I spiritually, I guess, in religion, I was kind of like, okay, I felt it, but I'm still going to go about my day. I'm still going about what the things I'm doing. So over time, I never really grew in my faith. I never really, even though my dad's a preacher, my mom is very spiritual. I never really grew in my faith as far as religion, getting in touch with God. Um, so high school went by and then college hit. And I just so many things. My freshman year, I just got into things that I shouldn't have. Sophomore year, and fall semester of junior year, just got into stuff that I shouldn't have, and I just being reckless, kind of living that. Oh, it's college, you know. You only live once, and you might as well just do things because everyone's doing it, and you're young, and college is the time where you live life to the fullest, I guess, and you really kind of just because your last hurrah, I guess. And so I kind of took that and ran with it. Ran, sprinted, torpedo. I ran with that scenario. I was just like, okay, I'm young, whatever. Until things started happening in my life, especially last year, where God was just trying to well, let's go back. Probably like last year, 2011 was probably my worst year ever. I've went through a horrible relationship, where it just broke me to pieces. I just really living for people, like not living for anyone, just losing myself as a person. And so in 2012, I guess like me and my friend, we went to 2012, started our New Year's resolution. I'm talking about so many resolutions. We finna go to church and we finna not be stuck on stupid for these people and just, do this, that, and that, just talking big game. And we finna get our grades together. We're just going in like on the stuff we gonna do to change ourselves to get be better people. And child 2012 hit, I was doing the same thing I did in 2011, but it wasn't as depressing as 2011, but it was still wasn't growing as far as spiritually. I was kind of just moving downhill, I guess, but I didn't see it at the time. I was just like, oh, I'm having fun. I have these booze, I guess. I have, partying and living that type of life. So I'm having fun until it hit me and I've lost all that. And when I lost all that, I didn't know who I was. I was kind of like, this is lonely. Like when you're used to having somebody and then you don't, it's kind of like, oh my God, this is a lonely life to live. Like I don't have anyone I can go to. I have my friends, I have my girls, like, my sisters, but at the same time, you want that companion. At the time, I wanted that companionship because I was so used to having it. And so, but I think the break going into 2013, that December break we have, I was kind of like, okay, I'm used to not really texting anybody, so I'm fine with that. So 2012 came in, me and my friend, my best friend, I don't think I want to say her name, but we kind of came into the year like, okay, we really don't have anything to be like, oh, we're going to do this and that. We're just going to let it happen because nothing bad has really happened. Well, things bad happened in 2012, but I didn't dwell on it. I kind of, as far as growing up in 2012, I let things go easier. I moved on quicker because I used to be that type of person that would be mad for no reason for like a week, just be mad over something really stupid. And in 2012, I'm gonna start doing that because they're moved on, they're already happy, and I'm still mad. And I was like, I ain't got time for that. So going into 2013, I was kind of, I didn't have any New Year's resolution except for like weight loss, which I'm still gonna work on because I think that's gonna be an always struggle with me. I think it's always struggle for any female. But yeah, I didn't go in 2013 with any type of goal, especially spiritually, because I was like, I don't want to say anything as far as I'm going to go to church and I'm going to read my Bible every day. I'm going to start, the Bible plan on my Bible app and really get into it. And when I know, at the time, I wasn't what it was called upon for me to do. So, January hits, and I don't know what happened, but I've been to this church that I go to now. It's called Victorious Life Church before, and I guess it was a great sermon, or I don't know when I went there in 2012, I didn't quite get into it, I guess. But when I went there this year, it was January 20th, 2013, where I joined the church for Watch Care, basically. And Watch Care is like, you have a church, but now you're in a different city. You have somewhere you can go and call your church home for the time being. So that sermon, oh my gosh, like I started writing down. I didn't write the notes for that sermon, but I started writing notes for that church. Like I became addicted to that church, like seriously. And even in that sermon, the preacher was like, you the striped shirt, yeah, you swaying back and forth, like I'm feeding off you. And I'm just like, me, like you're talking to God, you're talking to me the whole sermon, like I'm crying. I'm just like, oh my God, this is a church for me. This is a church for me. I hear you, God. And so that was truly my first experience in life, like truly feeling God and feeling His presence, and truly like wanting on my own to go to church and like wanting, because I'm talking about, I'm going to church every Sunday, going to Tuesday Bible study, joining the choir. And when I say I did not want to join the choir at my other church, I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And this church, I was like, I'm joining the college ministry, joining the choir, getting really involved in church. And I really was like, I was sticking to it. I was so happy just to be, in God's presence. It's just a different feeling when you're connected with God. It's such a great feeling. You feel relieved, and especially when you're walking in your faith and truly walking in your faith and not, doing things you don't need to. It's just like, oh my gosh. So January hit, and then February, in the middle of February, something happened where I went back to my old ways. I reverted back to the things I was doing in the past. And it was just like, literally a month. February to like the middle of March, I want to say, in middle of March, where I was just living my life horribly. I'm talking about just doing things that I know I shouldn't have been doing, living my life that I know that God brought me out of, and now I'm just going back to it because it's what I'm used to. It's easy to go back to what you're used to when you've done it for so long. Like, it's just like, oh, okay, this is what I'm used to. I'm used to doing this and that. And knowing dang well God just brought you out of it, that's what you're gonna do. You're just gonna spit in his face and go back to the things that he brought you out of. Oh, okay. So with that, I just start feeling, guilty on stuff I did, and that's how